Hello, Wendy. How are you? Good to see you. How's your weekend going? Tis Lisa. How are you? Good seeing you. It's pretty good. I had a pretty adventurous weekend. Did a lot. Got home a little while ago, so it was pretty filled, pretty full. What did you guys do? Mr. Iron Dog, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Kelly, nice to see you. Great having you. Thanks, Kelly. It's always great seeing you, and appreciate the support and love. That's very nice of you. Yep, awesome. That's good. Relaxing is one of the best things to do. For the 4th of July, I actually went on a boat and we ran out of gas. So you can imagine how that went. We went aground. We had to call sea tow. It was like a nightmare. We got to see the fireworks. Night Shame, how you doing, buddy? Good seeing you. It's going pretty well. Alana, how are you? Yeah, things are going pretty good. Tomorrow is the big day. We all go back to you know why. So trying to enjoy the rest of the day off. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Yep, everybody's looking lovely as ever, as Iron Door 63 always says. Stephanie, how are you? Good to see you. Love your live stream. You have such a sweet voice. I can listen to it all day. Retired and prepping. Hello. Yeah, today was a hot one. I actually went to Canal Street in Manhattan and had a pretty good lunch. They have like the weirdest like type of foods, like stuff from a tree that you put in water and then they cook it and it's like dried out in a little package and then you get like a bowl of stuff to eat, like mushrooms I never even heard of. The way they cook everything, but it's pretty tasty. I'm trying to get used to using chopsticks, and they're always like handing me a fork every time I go to a Chinese restaurant. No, 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 just give me chopsticks. I'll do it. And they all watch me like struggle with the chopstick. And they're like, oh, just use the spoon. Use the fork. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually a pretty good restaurant. It's on Mott Street, and they're open till like 3 in the morning. It's just so busy. A little place, and the kitchen is in the front window, and they have like one cook or two cooks, and they do everything, and a couple of waiters, and it's pretty good. They're not really big on duck, like if you like duck and stuff like that. There's other places for that. They're more like into, I think it's Cantonese. So like if you like Cantonese, it's not really salty Chinese food. Like some Chinese food is very salty, and they don't put a lot of spice in it. And it's pretty good. Yeah. And then I went to Ferrara's in Little Italy, which is Little Italy in Chinatown, like right across from Canal Street. So they're pretty much neighbors. And I went to Ferrara's and had gelato. It was pretty good. It's pretty good gelato. You know, they have an outdoor stand, or you can go inside and eat it. Cantonese, yeah, Cantonese, meow, yeah. It looked a little weird to me. I thought maybe, could be, but I didn't want to ask any questions. I just thought enjoy it. Actually, that was pretty good. There's another restaurant in Manhattan, in Chinatown, that they take the wontons and they stuff it with soup. Oh, that is so good. Like a soup stuffed wonton. It's delicious. And people go there and order like 50 of them. Imagine 50. Wow. But it's pretty good food, all family style. Like they'll put you at a table for two, and then they'll come sit like two people right next to you. Or you'll have a round table, and then they'll be like all strangers sitting together eating. And then like you're so tempted to like eat their food because they put all the food in the middle. So you have to know what you're eating. This is the kind of restaurant it is. It's pretty interesting. And like the line is outside waiting to get into this place. That's not the one on Mott Street. This is like one of the off streets. I think it's called Joe's, but it's Chinese. Actually, Flushing, Queens has pretty good Asian. It's a big Chinatown too. It's probably bigger than Canal Street now. Big Steve, what's up, my man? Yo, bro. Good seeing you. Nathan likes drums. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, that'd be nice, guys. What's up, my man? Big Steve cracks me up. He's probably like one of the funniest guys. Yeah, right. That's like one thing you can give somebody is a thumbs up, and it's free. Just hello, just a little click of the mouse. Well, I'm going. I'll be in Florida starting Thursday, so I'm going to be there for about 7 days, 6 days. Like I'm going to leave Thursday, coming home Wednesday. So how many days that is, I'm going to be out there. And I'm going to fly this year, so that should be all right. Thinking about going to the Miami Zoo when I get to Miami. So we're going to check that. I'm going to take my daughter for our summer vacation, and she's excited. Sunscreen, yeah, for this thing up here. Yeah. I was in Hoboken over the weekend. That's a pretty awesome place to go. Gelato. Oh, Ferrara's has pretty good ice cream. I used to go to Grom's on it's not McDougal Street. It's like right around St. Mark's, right off of 6th Avenue. There's a patch, and it's like a little park with a beautiful water fountain, and there's a big church across the street from it, and they actually make authentic gelato. And the last time I went, it wasn't that great for whatever reason, but the place is just mobbed. I mean, there's lines around the corner all day, all night waiting to get this stuff. And, it's pretty good. Like they make shakes and they have, different ice creams. It's good. It's good. But Ferraris, I had the Ferraris today in Little Italy, and I thought that was better. It was a little more creamy. Like I had the pistachio at Grom, and the pistachio was like chalky tasty. It wasn't like creamy gelato taste like Ferraris. I was like, wow, this is good. And they actually have pistachios in it, because I thought if you buy pistachio ice cream, there should be pistachios in it, not just a green color. But it was still good. I mean, Grom has good ice cream, and they have like stalls all over the world pretty much. But they are like from Italy. So you will get technically like authentic Italian ice cream per se. It's probably not going to match Italy, like some Italian ice cream stores over there. It is still made in America, but it's good. Like the Ferraris, I was very impressed. And it's not cheap either. Like I got 2 ice creams for me and my daughter. It was $19. And mine was a medium, and hers was like a drink, a slushie, I guess. She got a strawberry slushie, and it was $19. So you could have, imagine it's not cheap. But I mean, it's Manhattan. They're on the corner. So, and it's nice. You go outside at night. That's when I go there. Like when it's dark out, it's night, and there's all these people out there from all over the place. They come. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely get ice cream. We can't live without ice cream. Ice cream makes everybody happy. It makes every time I eat ice cream, it just makes me feel so good. Even like ice, like if I get ice, like Italian ice, I go like when we go to Reader's, like there's a place, Reader's Ices, and they're supposed to be like really good. I always get the custard. I ask for a little custard. I get that right in the ice. It's good. Hi, Christy K9. How are you? Good to see you. Ice cream is not cheap anymore. I remember going when I was in Rome. I mean, the guy gave me a cone. It was like huge. And it was $7. I mean, this is way back. And I thought that was a lot of money, because here in the States, ice cream was like $1, for Carvel, or, one of them. And then when I went there, I thought the guy was ripping me off, but I just paid it. And it was pretty good, but it ate me a lot. I mean, it was like a cone like this. It took me about an hour to eat it. I had to eat it quick because it kept melting. But it took a long time to eat it. Lemon sorbet, yeah. Sorbet's out of this world. Oh, that's something really good, too. Yeah. Yeah, ice cream is the one. I was thinking about getting an ice cream machine off of eBay. Where you can add your ingredients and it freezes everything right away. So I think you would buy like a certain milk or a cream, and then you can go like on YouTube and guys show you how to make ice cream in the machine. And then you just put cake or whatever you want in there, and then you pull the handle and it comes out ice cream. Put chocolate, the chocolate crunchy stuff in there, whatever you want. You can make your own ice cream at home or your own gelato. That'd be something. What do you want for dinner, hon? I'll have gelato. With steak in it. Can I have a burger gelato? Yeah, right? Hot dog gelato. Iron Dog, maybe you'd be interested in selling hot dog gelatos. I think you'd have something there. The Good Life, welcome. Nice to see you. I haven't bought ice cream out in a long time. Oh, you should definitely get some. This is the perfect weather for it. You know what's good ice cream if you're ever in the supermarket? Starbucks. It's pricey, but you don't need a lot because it's real ice. It's so good. Like it just comes in a little container like that. You know, like the Ben and Jerry's and all the other Haagen-Dazs. But if you could find the Starbucks, you'll be hooked. I can't find it because like people don't buy it because it's like $7, $8 for a little thing like that. So that's pretty pricey. You know, where you can get like the Ben and Jerry's for two for something. You know, two for $5, two for $6. But yeah, Starbucks makes it. And I always wonder like why they don't sell ice cream in their stores. And you can go to like Walmart or Sam's Club or like a big box store like that and buy their, big tub of ice cream. But usually, like when I buy that ice cream, it's like, it's good, but it's not really, that great. I used to make like desserts when I was, a little heftier. I would do this almost like every day, every night. And I would take a big bowl and I would have pound cake. And I would put pound cake on the bottom, ice cream, chocolate chip cookies on top of that ice cream. Then I would put more ice cream on top of that, whipped cream. And man, that is so good. Because the pound cake, it's just so good. Once you get to the cookie part and then you get to the pound cake, it's like, wow. And then you gotta have two. I mean, it's just so good. But I haven't like my freezer's like empty. Like there's nothing in it. It's like fish food, and those ice pops are for my daughter. Or if like her friends come over or kids, whatever. My friends' kids come over, they go in there, just they eat the ice pops. But I don't eat them. Yeah, I bought this refrigerator for my fish. Just to keep their food frozen, Actually, I'll give them because I have like dried like the frozen worms. I throw them the little blocks of ice. I throw them in there and they go nuts for that. Crazy. Well, Stephanie, thank you for stopping in. It was great seeing you. Jenny O'Brien, hello. Hi, USA. Where you from, Jenny? USA first. Hello, sir. How are you? Good to see you. Boise, Idaho. All right. Idaho. That's an old joke, right? Idaho, Idaho. No, I'm only kidding. Canada. I'm thinking about going to Canada. Because Montreal is only like 7 hours from here. So I'm thinking about doing Montreal and then maybe hitting Toronto. I went to Quebec years ago. And Quebec is beautiful. What a nice place. That's like a 10-hour drive. And I had like an old car and one of my hoses blew on the way home. But I was able to fix it. Lucky the thing got me home. John M.K. Doe, hello there. How are you? Good to see you. Like who? I guess the word "hoe" wasn't a popular name. Like today you hear it in music. No offense to anybody. This is just like funny talk. And then Idaho. It's just so funny that word. But I would definitely visit Idaho. One day if I'd like to take a cross country trip, go to Boise or something like that, check it out. Just excuse me 1 minute. I'm gonna get some to drink. So can you guys hear me okay? Okay, so all right. Night Shame, how are you, buddy? Oh, no problem, bro. No problem. You did those push-ups for the vets. Hey, man, you deserve it. That was a great job. Good job, man. Like, more people need to do that. Actually, yesterday I was in walking, and I did like a video on it, and I'm gonna try to post it tomorrow. And it's two of the main support columns that were at the base. It seems like that, or they could have been higher up, because they look kind of small for like being the real main supports. So they have like a memorial for that in Weehawken, because like I think like 6 people from Weehawken lost their lives on that day. And then they show how there was all the people around Weehawken, how they provided support, when they were shuffling on the ferry back and forth. And they just named a few people, the mayor. And then there's 2 memorials, and you'll see them. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's so worth like going there and checking them out, like in Weehawken. So if you ever go to New York, I think they have a tour bus that'll take you to Weehawken, and then you're gonna get a really good view of from New Jersey side to Manhattan. You can see everything. I mean, all the beautiful skyline. If you want to, like, talking about the skyline, like I did a live view the other day when I was in Weehawken, and I put in the title 9/11 Memorial, and it wasn't, monetized, right? I don't want to talk too loud because I don't want anybody to bother. And I was like, why wasn't it monetized? So then I changed it. So if you look at the title of the new, I changed the title to something like, New Skyline of Manhattan. And then they put the green one, right? Because if they find something wrong with it, they give you the yellow $sign, and if they think it's good, then they give you the green $sign. So when I put September 11, 2001, they put the yellow $sign, and then today I noticed it, and I changed it back to like I just took out the whole September 11, 9/11 thing, and they made it green again. So you can't even talk about that. Or else they won't mind, they won't let you put the green $sign on. That's weird. Like, what's so bad about that? I just said skyline, after 9/11, and I guess they found that offensive. So hopefully, like, what I'm saying now doesn't, catch on to them. My name is Jeff. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Adventure Demo Don 2018. Hello, buddy. How are you? John M.K. Doe. Great having you. So I have my homemade brew tea. Right? Looks like whiskey, doesn't it? Yeah, I've been drinking this all day. Actually, this goes like, if you make homemade brewed tea like this, all I do is grab like a half a gallon of a plastic jug, fill it with water, and then put like 5 or 6 tea bags in it. And I usually buy Bromley. And then in about a half hour, it's brewed, without boiling the water or anything. I mean, if you want to like have it put it outside in the sun now that it's hot out. I don't know if it'll work good through a plastic, but you might want to use glass. But it comes out so delicious. And then you just throw it in the fridge and it's perfect. But if you want to make a really good drink with this, like if you have friends over or you want your own refreshing drink, you buy lemon flavored vodka. Yeah. You put that in here, it's the bomb. It's the bomb. It's so good. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I just found it funny how, they gave you the yellow dollar sign, and then when I changed the title, they made it green because after 1,000 views, then you could what do you call it? You can question it, have them like manually review it. So, by the time I get 1,000 views on that, I'll be old, gray, and bald, which I am now. Not old. I'm not old. Yeah, right. I still have to go see the new, like the 9/11 memorial that's in Manhattan. I heard it's like $30 to get in there. I mean, you got to go there with big pockets, or you have to like really, want to see it. To like if you go there with four people, family, it's $120 to get in there. I don't know if there's any military discounts, but I haven't looked it up. I know in Miami, it's $24 to go to the Miami Zoo, and if you have a military ID card, you could get 50% off. But I'm not sure if it's just for me or it's going to be for me and my daughter that she's going to get the 50% off. But if they give me something, it's better than nothing. But I went to the Miami Zoo like a long time ago, and it's pretty nice. You actually have to rent bikes. It's so big to ride around, or else you're not going to be able to walk it. It's too hot. And if you do get like sun heat stroke or anything like that, you make a phone call, they'll come pick you up in a golf cart. And because I seen somebody, they were like too tired, they couldn't walk anymore. They had an old woman with them, and she couldn't make it. It was just too hot. And they came, picked her up, and took her out, so she wouldn't have to make the whole walk out of the place. So that's one of the stops we're going to do is all right, bro. Thanks a lot. Keith, have a great one. I'll see you during the week. How do I change my... to change a picture, you go to like settings in Google. I'll show you. And you can change your picture in there. You're going to put Soso's picture. Alana has a dog. His name is Soso. Cutest thing. He has Siberian Husky blue eyes, and he's black and white with like a black snout. And he's like the sweetest dog. And she just had him shaved. And the dog has a pool. Now, talk about the dog's life. The dog eats bacon, McDonald's, just the hamburgers, not the bread or anything like that. I don't know if he eats that. And what else does he eat, Alana? Peanut butter? That dog eats better than me. Yeah, you're right. My name is Jeff. You're 100% right. Well, hopefully, things get better. That was the beginning. Like in that time was the new NWO. You gotta be, and hopefully, what we're at now. It's a new NWO, and it's just gonna take time to get those old NWO people out. Because every time there's something happens like that, we're at an NWO. I mean, a lot of things took place, even like these last few years with Syria and all that. That was terrible. Lebanon, with all that stuff. So hopefully, it works out. Yeah, I mean, it's not permanent. Like the NWO that was in place is not a permanent thing. So hopefully it changed now because who we have now. So that's how it works. Every time there's it changes. There are still like technically the same people in the higher up ranks that are in technically control because they have all the money. But maybe now, it's going to get to the better. Yes. Thank God for 45. I mean, she probably would have been a better candidate before if she would have beat 44. So after 44, since she got on his NWO, so she now is in with them. So she has to continue whatever they give her duty to do. So if she was the one, so she was 44, we might have been in a different direction because of the 44 that we had, even though, he had the power of the pen, 44. She didn't. She had to take orders, but she had her own people. So perhaps she would have been better if she was 44. So then she would have been the NWO at the time for us. Things might have been a little different. Because she probably was like taking orders. Because like now when she came up to be 45, look at all the money she had behind her. Like I think what she spent like 600 million versus 45's 135 million. That's a big difference, and she lost. They never expected it for that to happen. That's a big scare for them. Whoever was the NWO for 44, they thought that they could put her in to be the new 45 and their NWO would continue. But it stopped now. So I'm believing that there's a new NWO and they're fighting, the old NWO is fighting the new NWO to continue their power struggle. So she kind of joined that old NWO, the new NWO that came in from 44, and that's what happened with her. That's how she became even more corrupt by following whatever she had to do. But she probably would have been better. She probably would have been better at being 44. Yeah. But they're still fighting the old NWO with the new NWO. They're still fighting. So, he has to win again in 2020 because whoever wins in 2020 is going to be from the old NWO because they just have so much power, with the media and all the stars are on their side. They control so much. But I mean, we could only, continue to live our lives and, and pray to God that for us, for ourselves and our families like that. USA. Yeah, we love our country. That's you got to love country and family. That's what it's all about. Yes. Actually during the 43 NWO, but 43 NWO rolled into 44. It just got worse. in Mexico actually legalized marijuana for the whole country, and so in this country was still illegal, and I read somewhere or just watched a YouTube video that they actually went to Mexico and made it illegal again because they were losing money in the illegal end of it. Because that's like their biggest import is that, is cannabis. Is their, Mexico's number one import. Like the United States is the largest producer of it in the world. Like we make enough of it, illegally. Canada probably is the largest producer of hemp. But now hemp is going to be legal in the United States, which is a good thing. It's a first step of legalizing the other part of hemp, and that's cannabis. Because hemp, you can't get nothing out of it, like in terms of being whatever, you get stoned on it. You can't get stoned on it. So I mean, it's like 0.3 something. You'd have to smoke an acre of it to get anything from it. They just got it all out. So all it is you get the hemp oil, you get the fibers from it, from that. And that's it. Right. I mean, it all started with let me go back. So Clinton, Bush was 43. Clinton was 42. His the other Bush was 41. I think then there was Carter was 40. Then there was 39. That was I forgot his name. If I remember him. Then there was Reagan. Or was it? Well, I'm going to go back to 37, which is Richard Nixon. So he was like the leader of this whole thing that we have, this NWO that led up to 44. So that whole time frame, it's all that. Where I think Carter was a little bit against that. Like he didn't really Gerald Ford. So Carter was more of a peaceful guy, more of an American. So he was really not, on their side. Nor was probably Reagan in the beginning. And that's why they were going after him until then he just, fell into their line and he did whatever they wanted. Because then the banks controlled Reagan. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's embarrassing that Trump was left with all the massive trade deficits that have been going on forever. True. There are a lot of things that were left to him to fix. True. There is 800,000 nonviolent offenders in prison all over the planet that provides Medicaid. True. I mean, it's all business. Like jails were privatized and, people like towns that were dying built, prisons and flourished. Like I watched a show that this town built a prison and they had no prisoners. So they weren't making any money. They had this brand new modern state-of-the-art prison, all these guards, and they had no. So what they did is they got a contract from Puerto Rico to take their prisoners, but nobody spoke English, and all the guards nobody spoke Spanish. Well, vice versa. Nobody spoke English for the prisoners. Nobody spoke Spanish from the guards. So you can imagine how that went. And I think Puerto Rico was paying this prison $60,000 a year for one inmate. $60,000. Why don't they just pay them to not commit crime? Give them 40,000 and say, look, we're going to give you 40,000 a year. Don't commit any crimes. Hello, why pay 60,000? But it's a business. Yeah, I mean, I heard his name. He's probably just one of those like Henry Kissinger, like one of those guys. Henry Kissinger probably would have been president, but he was born in Germany, so he couldn't run for president. And he's backed by the Rockefellers. Where 44 was groomed by Kissinger. So you can actually think that since Kissinger works for the Rockefellers, that's the Bilderbergs, then the Rockefellers put 44 in as president to do this. I mean, you say to yourself, like, why would they even want that, what this guy did? But I mean, I guess Obama did some things that were good. I mean, but towards the end, all this negative stuff came out, and yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all business. I mean, the courts make money on it. The police, the unions. I'm not blaming the unions, but they need to. All these government agencies needs to justify themselves. Like what happened with 42 in Waco, Texas. The ATF, he was going to disband them. Right. So at the time, Janet Reno was the secretary of whatever she was. And they needed justification in order for them not to be disbanded. So they went after David Koresh. Like he wasn't bothering anything. And in Texas, everybody has, at that time, people had tanks, howitzers in their backyards, just because, and they say that he was firing, because today, like if you fire an automatic weapon, you're this crazy guy. So imagine back then, people would just fire their guns like it was nothing. And so that's like one of the reasons, I watched a show last night, like about, it was like child abuse and all that stuff, but there was 150 people there. So that's why that happened. Because the ATF needed like a scapegoat to justify their, and I think now that the DEA, I don't even know if the ATF even exists anymore, because I haven't heard of them or the DEA lately, because you used to hear them a lot. Because a friend of mine graduated college and he went to work for the ATF and then he became FBI. So he jumped from ATF or he was DEA or something like that, and then he went to FBI. Yeah. Cryptozoology. We were just talking about the zoo. I'm thinking about going to the Miami Zoo. I'm probably going to go because we're going to land in Miami in the morning. So we're going to get the car. So we should be in the zoo by 12. And I think that'll be enough time to check out all the cool animals they have at the Miami Zoo. How are my eyebrows? Are they good? That's like the hardest thing to groom is eyebrows. Because you have, your thing and you're like that. So it's pretty rough to do. And speaking of eyes and brows, yesterday I finally put contacts in because I wanted to wear sunglasses, So I figured because I have like some contacts the doctor gave me, and I'm gonna try to start wearing them a little more. So let's see how do I look without glasses. I think I look better with glasses. You see less, you know what I mean? Like glasses hides certain things in a face. So I need some facial, how do you call it? Some facial, I need to hide some of my face. How's that? You guys check each other's channels out. Make friends. It's all about support. I just, want to thank everybody for supporting me. Everybody being here. It's awesome. Everybody who was here, who came, and, people popping in and out. Yeah, so I mean, like, people can talk about that. But I'm going to do a video tomorrow, Jeff, because I was in Weehawken. I don't know if you were in here. You probably were. And they have two of the steel structures that were part of the World Trade Center. And it's just like I never realized, because when you went there, they covered them in like tin or some kind of aluminum. So everything looked nice and shiny, but underneath it was just steel, raw steel. And if you like walk up to these columns, they're like, the steel is like that thick. It's like 1.5 inches, and they make a box. And who knows if they even filled it with concrete and rebar. Because those buildings supposedly were swinging in the wind. At the very top, the winds, they said, could blow up to 300-400 miles an hour. So the steel had to be very flexible, so they can sway back and forth, or else they might have cracked, I guess. Ice Spike, hello, how are you? How are you, mate? Western Australia. Wow, man, bro, that's cool. That's a place I'd like to visit, Australia. I mean, anytime you look at Australia, it's a fascinating place. Like Hawaii. Hawaii is fascinating. There's so much there. It's just incredible. They have all the volcanoes in Hawaii. They have fluorescent lakes, all kinds of lagoons. I mean, all kinds of crazy plants. It's just an incredible place to visit. Puerto Rico is pretty incredible, too. But I'm sure Australia is like an amazing place. Hello. Much love. John M.K. Doe wishes everybody a lot of love. Thanks, Jeff. You are very wise with an immense amount of knowledge. Now, if I could go to Atlantic City or bet on the right horse, I'd have the best kind of knowledge. But, I mean, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so today when I was in Canal Street in Chinatown, it wasn't even that crowded. I went right through because they opened up the Pulaski Skyway. So I'm trying to park. So as like, you got to pull over, kind of get near the car that you want to park in the spot because the car's in front. And this guy pulls up right behind me. So I had a red light. So he's got to go around. So I pull up even more to let him go. And I have my blinker on that I want to park. And then the guy starts yelling at me. Oh, I said, dude, I'm trying to park. You know what I mean? I mean, how much room do you need? And I noticed that Like the guy wasn't even turning the wheel to go around me. I guess then he figured it out, and he went around me, and I was able to park. Because in Manhattan on Sunday, you can park for free anywhere, technically, pretty much. But you have to still read the signs, because the signs are read from top to bottom, and that's where people get confused. And you'll wind up getting like $150 ticket. Then you have to like know where the arrows are pointing, because like you can have a sign on the corner here, and the sign, it says no parking anytime, and the sign is pointing that way. And then there's another pole here that the arrows are pointing that way. So you can't park from this pole to this pole. That's what that means. So if you ever go to the city, you have to read the first pole, the first sign, and see where the arrow is pointing, and then find the next sign. And that's where you know you can't park, or it'll give you directions on what to park. So where I was parked, it was no parking from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., and then no parking from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then there was metered parking Monday through Saturday from a time to time, and then free parking on Sunday. So today was Sunday. So if you read the sign, I had that spot until 4 p.m. And at 4 p.m., you will get a ticket. Because now, if you watch my video, the one I did, the ticket blitz, you'll see how going through the Holland Tunnel at the last light or stop sign, they put the ticket people there. That all they do is give tickets, and there was 2 police officers to protect them in case guys get out and go crazy on them. And they'll go, so now they don't have to write tickets anymore. So all they do is go behind your car if you block the box and just put your plate in, and you're done. You got a ticket. There's nothing they can do to change it. So what you have to do when you're in the city is, if you got to drive real slow, don't go over 20, 25 miles an hour, like in Manhattan, even like pretty much all the boroughs. And when you come up and you see it's orange, stop. Because what will happen is, if you get caught in the box, meaning, there's 4 corners, so you're in that box, that the oncoming traffic, let's say you're going this way, these cars are coming this way, you're in the middle, you're blocking that. So that's an offense, $250 fine. So everybody that was trying to get through to get into the Holland Tunnel, that were impatient to wait, the cop, the ticket guys, it was like 4 of them, all standing there ready to give out tickets. And I got some of it on film. And I noticed one of the ticket agents actually gave the ticket to the guy in the car. And he was like from out of state too, not even New York or New Jersey. He was like from far away, Maine or something like that. But those guys, when they first put them in, when they first opened that up, like the ticket agents, they were brownies, and people abused them. I mean, people they were getting beat up and assaulted, and they were doing all kinds of stuff to these people. It was all over the news all the time. And then they gave them blue uniforms, so to make them look more official, like cops, which was smart. And now they have traffic. They look like cops, like real policemen. NYPD, like they look like official, but they wear white hats. Yeah. So they kind of look like, they could, they are sort of like cops. The other thing New York City has is auxiliary police. And they drive around in old police cars. They don't have guns, but they do have, I think, clubs and handcuffs. So they can defend themselves. They just don't have, I think they could do like a civilian arrest. And they have, direct police radios in the car. So if they drive around and these old police cars, and it says on them auxiliary. It doesn't say police. It does say auxiliary, but they're like old police cars. So what they could do is they can call in something, and the cops, they will come in New York, like boom, right away. But like if you're ever like in the city or anywhere, and you're in trouble, and you need immediate, like instant police presence to save you, just say police officer in distress. They will come you just say like a police officer's getting beat up. A police officer, they will come so fast, like they'll just come out of nowhere. And you'll be like, oh, like that. And whatever the situation is, they'll be taken care of 1, 2, 3. Where like if you call being beat up, they'll take their time. Because in a way you can't blame them. If you're in that situation, it's partially your fault. I always say like even like if it happened to me, like if I got pulled over or got a ticket, it's your fault. That you got pulled over. It's not the police. Because they never pulled me over for going the speed limit. I've always gotten pulled over for going over the speed limit. So if you're in the presence of a police officer and you're not cooperating or whatever happens, that you get assaulted, and it's technically your fault. Like, and a lot of us know that, because a lot of us like have never had trouble with the police, and it's because we're smart enough not to pee them off and have them take us down and handcuff us. We're smart enough to keep our mouth shut, take the ticket, maybe ask a couple of questions and drive away. Unless, as long as everything is legal and legit. I got to take off, my friends. Thanks, Jeff, for stopping in. Good seeing you. Good. I'm looking forward to seeing that, Spike. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm gonna just check out Jeff's. Oh, I Spike. Hey, okay, bro. Yeah, I do. How you doing? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to seeing that. Yes, if you check out Spike's channel, he would definitely support you, and he won't, like unsupport. Spike is a pretty cool dude. I watched a couple of his videos, and I'm gonna check out Jeff. My name is. Oh, thank you, Spike. Appreciate it. I love your accent too, my man. You got a good accent. So what are you guys up to? Is there anything you want to talk about? Hmm? Getting ready to move from Florida to Kentucky. What makes you? Wow, that's a pretty move. Kentucky. Wow, what part of Kentucky? I'm going to be in Florida on Thursday. Flying into Miami, and then I'm gonna thinking about staying there a night, and then we're going to like Deerfield Beach. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely go. You know, that's always a good thing. Like being near your family, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's one of the things I always said about YouTube. I mean, as much as like people, like even myself, like when they did that whole thing and demonetization and all that. Yeah, Florida's nice. I love Florida. I would love to move there. Get like a big piece of property, like about 40 minutes close to the beach, and just be in a good area like that. Because Florida is just so nice. And like YouTube, how they actually bring people together. I mean, talk about like bringing people together. YouTube's like one of the only places that you could actually interact, with people from all over the world like now. You know, and that's a pretty good thing. The whole like monetization thing. I mean, you know, it's what are you gonna do? But YouTube does, even Google. I mean, they are allowing people. They're giving people a chance, to better their lives by having a YouTube channel. And it's up to us to follow their rules. I mean, that's what everything is about. You have to follow a rule. And if you fail, I mean, that's just what happens. I mean, you got to move on. But Google, I think like they're a little bit too strict with the permanent ban. I mean, give people a break. Like, okay, you made a mistake. Why serve onto people a life sentence? You know, people make mistakes. People, when it comes to money, people do foolish things. And Google and YouTube is a place that people can earn. And people today need to earn. So if you get a little anxious with your channel and make a mistake, or with your website and make a mistake, and then you get banned, I think they should give you a sentence like 1 year, 6 months, 5 years, depending on how it's structured, and then give people another chance. I mean, because like one day, YouTube or Google, they may need another chance, and they're going to want it. They're going to look for it. And people need, forgiveness. right? We need to, love is about forgiveness, right? That's what love is. You forgive. So Google, they want to share love. They want people to interact with grace, with affection, and they should learn to forgive. And dole out. Like if you get a strike, that's sort of like what I'm talking about. If you get a community strike because whatever you did wrong, or you didn't know, because a lot of people don't know. I mean, a lot of people, they come on YouTube and like myself, a lot of things I don't know everything about YouTube. I'm trying to learn OBS and all this stuff, and people just make mistakes, and Google should take that into consideration and say they made a mistake, we gave them a strike, 3 strikes and you're out. But it shouldn't be 3 strikes and you're permanently out. They could say, 3 strikes, now we're gonna, hold you for 6 months. We're not, or for a year, whatever like that. So then they give you no chance. Then if you continue to do it, then there's other means of handling that. But a lot of people make mistakes. And forgiveness is the key to love. Weed out the crap and inspire people to have a good go at making feel to good videos. True. I'm not worried about it. I put videos for other reasons. Okay. Hunting 902, good to see you, buddy. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. There's an appeal service if one gets banned. True. Great banner. Thank you. Dan Huntington from West Australia. Yes. What is the meaning to life, Spike? Which, by the way, I like your profile picture. That's the beard, man. I got like a weird facial hair, so I would have to go get like a fake one. I would grow like a Fu Manchu. Okay, let me check out your channel, Hunting. Yep. I'm checking out Hunting 902's channel. Okay. Okay, there you are, buddy. I'm subscribed to you. I got the bell rang. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of. I mean, I don't know where they're thinking with that, but like the way I see it, if I have a product, even like I want to sell this, I have a product. I don't care who buys it. If I'm selling a product, my goal is to sell it. I'm not going to pick and choose who can buy it. I mean, all these things going on with baking cakes and all that stuff. I mean, these people just, in my opinion, you want a business, you don't want to bake the cake or whatever. Just tell the guy, look, we don't have time. Or I don't know, but that's a whole different story. But I mean, like, if I want to sell a product, anything, and I don't care who buys it, because I can walk in any store and buy that product. That's a commercial product, like a soda or beer or cigarettes or clothing or a vehicle. They're not going to question you if you go in there with enough currency of anywhere in the world. They're going to give it to you. You go in there with a black card, American Express, they're going to sell you whatever they want. So, like, when I heard that, it's the advertisers who, don't want to, but anybody who watches those videos are into that. No one from the outside is going to watch that and complain and say, oh, they're on here, so they must support that. I don't know. It makes no sense. Because when you watch television, they don't know who's watching TV. I mean, anybody can watch anything on television. Like cable. So if I'm watching a TV show on cable, the advertisers on there, they're not going to discriminate and say, oh, he's watching it, so I don't want to advertise on your station because he's watching it. I don't know. So that whole thing about that was kind of squishy, and it's still the reasoning behind the changes that took place. But life is about change, so we change, and you have to go with the flow. And again, like, it's their business and they can do what they want with it. No one went after them. Like, no one took them to court. I'm sure people tried, but like these other people with the cakes and all that going to court because they don't want to bake a cake. If, maybe both parties are wrong. If the guy doesn't want to bake a cake for you, then just go find another bakery. Go to Costco. They'll bake a cake for anybody. I mean, like, what's so good about their cakes? That you have to have the cake made by them, by those people. What's so good? I mean, did you intentionally go there knowing that they weren't going to bake the cake for you? And you started, with the problem? But that's just, a whole nother story. All right, Christy, nice seeing you. Thanks for stopping in. What's up, man? The Big Red Bear. Check out the Big Red Bear. He will definitely support you guys. Love you too, bro. It's always good to see you. Same here. I feel the same way. The Heart of Comedy. Yo, what's up, my man? Okay. I'm going to take a break for 2 seconds, and I shall be back in 2 minutes. Hello. So this is one of my new ideas. Instead of keeping this in my ear like this and I'm just doing one of these. Because I can't hear anything. Like if you're chatting with like other people there's on the panel, then you have to hear what they say. But if I'm just me, then all I need is the mic. Yeah, check each other's channels out. Everybody here will definitely get back to you guys. Yes, sir. They should like promote mods. Give them like stars. That'd be like too crazy. Oh, he has 2 stars. I have 1. That's all right, bro. I like living on the edge. Somebody in the chat room, I drank a lot of tea today. I drank 2 teas in the Chinese restaurant because they give you the free tea there, which is cool. When you go to a Chinese restaurant, they give you free tea. And some tea is really good. Cheers, bro. I'll see you again. Check you out. I'm gonna watch that video that you put up. Loving on the edge. Pretty good. So I'm going away like this week. So when I get back, I got a few dealerships. One is a new Subaru dealership, and the other one is a used car dealership. And I'm going to do a review on a couple of cars they have. And the used car dealership is like a high-end car place, so they get a lot of nice cars. People like car reviews. That's like one of the big things on YouTube is car reviews. Kenneth, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Yes, cameras is another big thing. Like I have to go to there's a camera shop down about an hour from me. It's called Tom's River, and they actually sell Nikons and Canons. They kind of know me. I bought my my Canon 5D Mark II from them, and a couple of other things. And I've gone in there a couple of times, and I'm gonna ask them if I could review their cameras. I don't know how trusting they are with me, like to give me the camera to bring it back. So, or you have to rent it. But a lot of these big camera guys, like the camera companies, actually send them the camera, and then they send it to somebody else, and then it gets shipped around. So they might send you the camera, and they know you have the glass for it, either Nikon or Canon, and they'll give you the camera to review. But like these cameras today, they technically all take good images. I mean, they're all good. That's how I look at it. I mean, they're just phenomenal. even like the cheapest SLR you can buy or mirrorless camera, like even our cell phones take great pictures. Some have better quality than others, but when it comes down to cameras, it's all about printing, because that's why they give you the quality. It's the print. It's not to show it on the internet, because any camera is going to take a good enough picture for the internet. As long as you have your settings right and all that stuff, your controls, as long as you take the picture right, any picture is going to look good online. Where it counts is in the print. So like if you take a picture and you send it to a lab and they edit it and it comes back and it looks bad, is because you took a bad picture. But any camera that's 8 megapixel and even 4, you can print an 8x10, because I'm not going to reveal my age, but I remember when the first state-of-the-art Canon came out, full frame, was a Canon 1D, and I had it. This was a 4 megapixel full frame sensor, the 1D, 4 megapixel. And the pictures are beautiful. Just think, a big 35 millimeter. Now they pack in 48 megapixels in that same real estate of the 35 millimeter film type size. So that 1D was 4 megapixels. And that was like, the best camera. Because nobody had full frame, but Canon. There was no such thing as Sony. Sony was still Maxim. Nikon was catching up, and they're still catching up. Sony was trying to get into the market through Maxim because they bought Minolta, and they had junk. I mean, they were still like a consumer grade camera, the Maxim. They didn't have the quality glass that Canon has, or even Nikon. And people were still coming out of the film era, with the Hasselblads. Like I used Bronicas SQIs. But today, I mean, you get a micro 4/3 like this, tiny chip in here. This is 13 megapixels. I mean, the chip is like smaller than my fingernail. I mean, it's just tiny. And it takes great pictures. And you could print. Yeah, I never tried to print anything, but I'm sure you can print a decent print out of this. As long as you hold it steady, there's no camera shake, the lighting is good, you're going to get a good image. And it's even the same thing with an SLR. Like if you have a camera and hello, Avrologs, nice to see you. John Brooks, good to see you. You're going to get, good image quality. That's why, when you shoot, you need a tripod. You need, steady, because camera shake is a culprit that gives you soft pictures, meaning that, your pictures are going to come out blurry. So it's not so much that you're not in focus. It's more so you're shaking the camera. So when you're holding the camera and you pull the trigger, you get that little bit of shake. So when you're a professional photographer, and you see these guys, shooting and moving around, that's fake. What they really do is they're on a set. And I mean, to get a sharp as can be picture, you need a tripod. Excuse me. And you need a cable release. So technically that's what, people tend to do. Like when you're shooting, like for models, for high-end magazines and all that. If you're shooting for yourself, you can handhold. Like if it's 2/50th of a second, you're not going to get any blur, especially like a still object. Like if you're doing a portrait, you can handhold that if you're really good at a 30th of a second. Like anything that's moving, birds or animals, you want to be at like 2,000th of a second. Or like a friend of mine on Facebook, he was asking me, what camera should I buy? And, I want to get SLRs. And I says, get the Lumix FZ300. because that's a great hybrid camera. It's fantastic quality. So the other way to freeze action is with flash. So if you notice, like if you go to parks and you'll get guys that have like these flashes with these tubes on them. So they're shooting the bird and trying to hit them with light. I mean, if you have a powerful flash and you can follow the bird and shoot it, but the flash will never recycle fast enough to do rapid fire. So anytime you have a bird in flight or a fast moving animal, you're going to be safe between, 1/500th of a second and 1/2000th of a second at f8 in daylight, like I have now at the window in broad daylight. Yeah. I have the Tamron 150 to 600, and I bought it from this guy in Delaware, and I got it for $450. Now that's dirt cheap for that lens. So even if I don't want it, I could always sell it and I'll recover my money. That was just dirt cheap, because that lens on eBay is like $650 and up, even on Craigslist or anywhere. So, and I've been trying to make a video with it, and it's just so hard, to get the birds to cooperate. Even to go to an event where there's moving action. Because I have the Canon 80D, which is a great camera. So if you're like a semi-pro amateur starting out, that's a great camera to get. That you can just skip above, and that camera will last you for a long time. Even though it's the smaller sensor, it's not full frame, but you don't really need a full frame if you're doing wildlife and all that stuff. I mean, you just don't need it. No, Delaware's it should be in Canada, but it's not. Delaware's like it was like an hour drive. It's like right down the New Jersey Turnpike. You pass exit 1, and that's it. Albert, what's up? What's going on? And yeah. So hello. Yeah, I should, get a website, do reviews. Oh, you still at the beach? All right. I got to get down to the beach. Well, I'm going to Florida next week, so I'll be on the beach the whole time. Going to try to go snorkeling on a boat a couple of times. I love snorkeling. That's a lot of fun. I'm going to bring the GoPro, do some underwater video. Yeah, doing like videos and reviews, because I work full time, so it's really, you need a lot. I only have the weekends to do it, but I have some video that I can incorporate once I get with that lens the video down. And I want to make it a pretty interesting video, because everybody has made videos about it. The Tamron 150 to 600. So what the 150 to 600 gives me with the crop sensor on my 80D is like a 240. Let me see. It's so it's 600 millimeters times 1.5. So what it's actually, so when I put the 600 on, it's 1.6. When I put the 600, the 150 to 600 on the crop sensor on the Canon, I get 960 millimeters of reach. I mean, the lens is just amazing. Just being able to zoom in. And I was out in the other video I did about the ADD, I went to that same spot where those egrets were, and I was shooting them in flight. And it's really hard to get them because they're right under you, and sometimes you're at 600 and they're too close, and you cut the tips out. You got to find that sweet spot on the lens, and the lens is really fast. And the lens and the Tamron and the ADD they're really good combined. They work well together. Yeah, I could try that. How's the beach, Albert? See any interesting people? Don't forget to give a thumbs up, guys. Thanks. Yeah. Well, when I get back, I'm going to go to the beach down here, do a whole weekend. I was in Hoboken. There was a lot of interesting people there. And I ate in this Italian restaurant that's right on the water where you can launch canoes and kayaks. You can't launch a motorized boat, maybe like with a small engine, but the sign says kayak and canoe launch. So you can actually put your kayak in the Hudson River, which is nuts. So if you have one of those paddle boats and or you could put a sail on them, I forgot what they call those things. You could actually like cruise around the Hudson River. Yeah, me too. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, but you're a young guy, right? Big Bear. There's a lot of ladies in America. 21. Awesome. You're the prime, bro. That's the prime age. 21. Yep. No, you're 21. You're full grown. You'd be a good driver. Very good. Just go to Manhattan. There's millions of them. Yeah, you could. The only place that I ever went to that you can drink and drive was in St. Thomas. Because I was at the bar, and my friend was like, well, my ex-wife, we were gonna leave. So I was like, I gotta finish my drink. No, man, just take it with you. You could drink and drive. I was like, what? Yeah, the police do it all the time. So I'm thinking, wow, they're the police. No, take it. It's fine. So I believed her. So I just took it. And we were drinking in the car, driving, which wasn't too smart because St. Thomas is like all hills. It's like a mountainous island. I had a little of that today when I was parking. Al, so what beach are you at? Oh, you must have left. Wow, 5%, man. I'd like to try that. San Miguel. I don't know if we have that. The only thing I have left is Stella. And that's like, I'm so used to that. He's gone. Yeah, let me see. Okay. Yeah, he's on the beach, so he probably just stopped in. Quick hello. Yeah, Stellar is really good stuff. There's a restaurant on 21st Street and First Avenue, Manhattan, and it's a Belgium restaurant. And believe it or not, the food is pretty good, and they have every beer on tap from Belgium. I mean, you sit at the bar, and they have like 100 taps, and all they have is Belgian beer. I think Chimay, right? Isn't Chimay from Belgium? And then there's another one that's really expensive. I used to buy it. It's like champagne. It's so good. Chimay, that's something. It's like $15 of Chimay for a glass like this. Come on. I guess a lady, if she's not a big beer drinker, you can get a started drinking beer on Chimay, because that's like champagne. That's really good stuff. There's another one that's pretty expensive. It's like $9 a quart. Yeah. Wine in Europe is cheap. Like if you go to Italy, you can buy a bottle of wine for like $2. And you wonder like how can they even sell it for $2? Like you go right to the winery where they make it. Yeah, because they don't tax them. Here in New Jersey, a pack of cigarettes is like $7.50 US. Then there's cheaper brands that are like off-brand that are like $6 a pack. Then if you go to New York, it's $16 a pack for New York. Yeah, it's a lot. If you go to Delaware, it's like $5 a pack. If you go to Virginia, it's like $3-4 a pack. Because that's where they grow it. Like out in Virginia and places like that. Yeah, cigarettes. Like you today, like if you smoke, you're like a rich man. Especially in New York, man. You can go out, lay out like $20 to buy a pack of Marlboros. You got money to burn. It's not like it used to be, 80, cigarettes are less than $1. Yeah, they have 10s. Marlboro has 10s and 20s. Yeah. I mean, like you're a rich guy. Like we see a guy outside puffing on a Marlboro and he's in Manhattan. He bought it in Manhattan. That's $17. So you figure it's almost 20. So it's like $1 a cigarette. So every time you smoke a cigarette and you don't even smoke the whole thing, you just threw away $1. Right? So for you to get a cigarette in New York from one of your friends, they got to be a really good friend of yours to give you $1 or give you $3 or 4 cigarettes at the end of the night. There are like high-end cigarettes that probably cost $20. I guess what a lot of like diehard smokers are doing is they're buying the tobacco in a pack and rolling their own. That's the cheapest way to go. Like you buy a pound of tobacco for like, I don't know, whatever it costs, but that's cheaper than buying a pack of cigarettes. Yeah, roll and smoke. Or pipe smoke it. It's just cheaper. But who has the time for that? Well, an old friend of mine, she's from Ireland, and she lives in Boston now with her family. Her dad when I lived in Brooklyn, her dad would visit New York and come to Brooklyn and hang out with us in the bar that we would hang out in. We were there all the time, and he would come in and roll a cigarette. I was like, "Dude, man, like you're the coolest, like that is so cool." Like I never seen everybody. I mean, I've seen people roll other stuff, but like to roll a cigarette, that was like pretty cool. Because even when I was a kid, cigarettes are cheap. My buddy worked in a drugstore. He would just like steal a whole carton and come out and like give everybody a pack of cigarettes. It was like nothing. Oh yeah, we could smoke in pubs. Yeah, bar. We could smoke in movie theaters, on the subway, anywhere, on airplanes. Yeah, I remember my first airplane ride. People smoked on the plane, but you had to sit in the back. Like it made a difference. Then they banned it on planes. That now, when I heard that in Manhattan, you can't even smoke in the street. They don't even, because the problem is the cigarette butts. It's not so much the smoke, it's the cigarette butts. Like people smoke and then they flick that butt in the street. Yeah. Like if you watch one of my videos about Deerfield Beach, where I'm going next week. So my daughter and I, like we're on vacation, so we want to stay out as late as possible. And she's a kid, so she could stay out late too. So we went to the beach and we started walking around town. And I noticed, wow, look at all these butts. So I took my phone and I turned the light on, and it just lit up thousands of cigarette butts. And I made a video about it, and I called it Butt Beach. And they just and now I can understand why they're banning cigarette butts, because not only that it's pollution, but it gets into the waterways and it probably clogs the sewers. Yeah. I mean, all you have to do, I once in a while I have a cigarette, because I'm not a big smoker, but I have good enough friends that'll give me a cigarette. But what I do is when I'm done smoking and I have the butt left, what I do is I'll field strip. Like in the Army, they used to tell us to field strip, and that's why I thought about it. Just take the butt, you break it, and the cigarette part, you can throw it on the floor, because all it is paper and tobacco. That's not going to cause any harm to anything. But the butt, you just put that in the garbage, or put it in your pocket, or hold it in your hand until you can dispose of it properly, rather than throwing it in the street. Because if you go to anywhere, there's just cigarette butts everywhere. Where it's even at my job, you go outside and people smoke all day long outside, and they put this giant flower pot to be the ashtray, and people still flick their cigarettes on the floor. They still do it. And all you have to do is just break the cigarette, keep the butt, and throw that in the garbage, and that'll solve all the problems. So now in the Jersey beaches, they don't allow you to smoke on the beach anymore, because people smoke and they put the cigarette out on the sand. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just throw it in the garbage, or put it in your, even if I get a cigarette and I'm smoking in my car, and I won't flick it. What I'll do is I'll hold it and I'll flick it all out, or roll it out, and then all I have left is the butt. And then I'll take the butt and I'll hold it in my hand or whatever until I get someone, and I'll throw it out. So I force myself not to throw the cigarettes in the street or anywhere. And I've gone out with the smoke break, and I've seen people just boom, right, and there's a garbage right there, and they just want to flick them on the street. And there's thousands of cigarettes butts in the street, and that's probably one of the biggest things that cause pollution. Oh yeah. Yeah, people, I don't know if they're doing it to be rude or what, but I mean, people don't use their indicators. Actually, that's what they're doing now. They're actually, in Jersey, it's so strict that what they're doing now is they won't even let you bring plastic bags on the beach. So just think, you go to the beach, you're allowed to bring food, but not in a plastic bag, because people let the plastic bags blow in the wind. Then it gets into the towns, it gets into the sewers, it goes in the water. It's just terrible. Or when they go clean the beach with the machine, It gets tied up in that. So now they check your bags. They said, do you have any plastic bags? Yeah, you can't bring it. You got to go get a paper bag or a cooler, or buy like something that you can bring off the beach with you. Yeah, the Jersey Shore is like full of people right now. There's probably thousands and thousands of people. And you actually have to pay $10, $12, $15 to get onto the beach. Maybe like peak season, $18 a person to go to the beach. Where in New York, the beaches are free. It's a public beach. So in New Jersey, the towns run the beaches. So each town that has a beach, they run that beach. And you have to pay to get on the beach. Or like if you live in the town, you can buy a season pass and you go on the beach with your pass. If you're coming from out of town, there's people at the entrances. There's like summer job kids, and you pay them whatever it is. And now the police check your bags because they have rent-a-cops. So during the season now, like Seaside or all those big attractive beaches, they have police, and they go around on the beach saying what's in your bag, because you can't drink on the beach either. So if they find you with beer, they give you a big fine. And they could even arrest you because there's signs: no alcohol, no plastic bags, no smoking on the beach. They want to keep those beaches as clean as possible, which I don't blame them. There's kids there and that. But if you go to New York, you could drink, you could do whatever you want on those beaches. They actually have some of the beaches, they have like bars on the beach, on the boardwalk, and the waitresses will come out and say, beer, you want a beer? And you place an order, and they big you a nice big tall boy Budweiser. Yeah, it does. Yeah, plastic is terrible. Yeah, I'm like a big stickler on recycling. Like even at work, I take now they have like recycling bins, but I don't trust the cleaning people to actually recycle. So what I do is I take it home. So if I have like cans but I don't drink soda or anything like that. So, but if I have like a water bottle or cans or something, I'll take it home and recycle it. Yeah, it's bad. Plastic or bags, it's terrible. People, all they got to do is recycle. Like I go to people's houses, like family, and I can tell, you don't recycle? Just get another garbage can. Oh, no, they do it. I don't have time for it. Well, I don't know if the towns actually, like the garbage dumps actually recycle, but yeah, people, they don't listen. They don't care. Yeah, like there's like I'm on Facebook, and there's like stuff on Facebook that they show like how turtles get all caught up and fishing lines. That's a big problem too, like fishing, or the fishing lines that go in the water, and that's all toxic. It's not even like natural. There's just so much pollution. Yeah, like when you're on a boat and you drive the boat like in the waters, you see so much stuff: coolers, bags, bottles. But it's not really like people that do it. A lot of times it's the weather, because people don't secure their garbage. So if the garbage can on a stormy night gets blown over, all that stuff in that can is going to go flying. And like in New York, the garbage cans get overflown. Like it just can't handle the amount of garbage that people throw in it. So then it just winds up in the street. Yeah, people just need to recycle, and that's it. I mean, it's just simple. There's nothing to it. That's why, like, I make the tea. Because instead of having bottled water, drinking that all the time and creating all this waste, I just make tea in the house and I drink this all the time, or I'll have tap water. Or else, like if I drank bottled water, you can buy a 36 pack of water in Costco. This is like, a big store that sells food and you need a membership for less than $4. So people drink that and just throw it away because it's just so cheap. Yeah. And did you ever see that the big plastic patch in the ocean? It's like an island of garbage. Yeah. Yeah, like I have like a stainless steel water bottles, and if I need, I'll just take that with me. I'll go to like you can go to McDonald's that have the water fountain, and you can fill up there. Then I gotta kick you out if you need water. I mean, water's water. No water's bad. Yeah, it's like you think about all these tsunamis that if they have in Asia and all around the world, you know how much garbage is picked up from those tsunamis? Tons of it. Oh, hold on. Let me get this call. Hello. Oh, it's open. Yeah, just think about all that because I saw another show on YouTube where they showed Alaska and how the coastline of some of those Alaskan places are full of debris, refrigerators, I mean, boats, you name it, full because of all these tsunamis that picks up all this garbage and it takes it out to sea. Yeah, plastic. I mean, they don't need what's going to hopefully matter is that now the United States has legalized industrial hemp, that they can make the plastic bottles out of the hemp oil versus the dino oil, the crude oil, because the crude oil is just not recyclable. It just doesn't biodegrade. Yeah, definitely. So if they make water bottles out of soda bottles, beer bottles, whatever, all plastic out of hemp oil, it'll just biodegrade because they can make the ink out of it. That'll be biodegradable because you got plastic bags and they print on it. So that ink, it'll be biodegradable. The plastic will be biodegradable. So even if the bag does tend to blow away and go somewhere, it's just going to biodegrade. And they can make it where it'll biodegrade. So now you'll be able to get water that's fresh because they can say, well, we use biodegradable water and the bottle will biodegrade in 30 days. So if now you're drinking water from this company, that if the water's not drank, the bottle's going to biodegrade. You know what I mean? Where you buy a bottle of Poland Spring that we have here or commercial water, those bottles last forever. If you take one of those bottles and you put it in your refrigerator, go back there 20 years later, it'll still be there. Or like a Coke bottle, right? Yeah, water's like what a business that is. They sell water. And these water companies use a lot of water. That's why California has no water, because the bottling companies use it all. All the water that comes in to California, they get it first. So they make everything with it. All the companies, the bottling companies, the water companies, they get all the water, and then the people left with no water. And then they're stuck paying high, a lot of money for water because the bottling companies are using it all. Yeah, water is going to be an issue. But we have, like all the water in the world. Like Canada has probably a half of the water supply in the world. They have so much water. Yeah, Canada has so much water. California is in such need of water because of the companies that are in California, the bottling companies that use all the water, actually buy desalinated water from Mexico. And they get a lot of water from Mexico, but that comes from the ocean. So you say to yourself, like what's stopping California from doing that on their own? Especially like in the San Francisco area, because it's up, they can just pipe it down. Like millions and millions of gallons of water. It's like a never-ending supply of water that's in the ocean. You just desalinate it. And there's probably a cheap way of operating the machines and to doing it. Probably soon I'll be ending. Wow, it's 11 o'clock. Right here it's 6:10 p.m. Yeah, a friend of mine. I'm going to try to pick her up tomorrow, but I'm definitely picking her up on Tuesday. Because I think I'll pick her up after work, and then I'll have until like next Thursday or next Wednesday. Yeah, that was just my friend calling me. Yeah. Hope England takes it. I was surprised that Brazil, the guy scored on his own goal. Wow. That's why they lost the game. That took the whole mojo. Well, Italy didn't even make it, or the U.S. How bad is that? Yeah, that's. Come on, you're in the World Cup. You're playing like a school grade kid. You're a professional, man. That guy makes millions. How do you make mistakes like that? Yeah, the guy makes so much money. That's like he's like the best player, and he scores on his own team, right? Like you're a pro. How do you do that? Sometimes I wonder, like, how these athletes make mistakes. Like, why are these guys making like millions and millions of dollars and they can't hit the ball? They don't know how to play. They score on the wrong net. Like, come on, give me a break. Those guys should be like machines, like flawless. Or pay them by performance. And if the team does bad, then you get your money back at the stadium. Right? Like, okay, I'll pay $150. If the team loses, I get my money back. If the team wins, you keep it. Why go to a game and watch them lose? Like, play terrible. Like amateurs, right? Like, people say, oh, you better go into a minor league game. It's a better game. Yeah, because there's no corporation. It's government. Yeah. It's like, the thing is, like, when I was telling my friend, like, when you're not an asset, like corporations in America are assets. people are expenses. So veterans and the military is an expense, but the cost to do military is an asset because it's a corporation that produces the assets for the military, like guns and uniforms. So like the military for the United States is an asset where people are expenses. So I was saying, like, politicians, they're an expense to the country. They don't produce anything, but they demand a lot of resource in money. Yeah, definitely. They don't get, well, what they do is here in the state, like when I was in, we had a $250,000 or $150,000 insurance policy, but you had to pay for it. You know, it was like $4 a month. So now it's like it's in the millions. Like you can get like $1 million policy, but it's expensive. So like if you go to Iraq or you go to a war zone, you know, you're likely to get hurt. Yeah, you got to pay for the insurance in the army. Yeah, you pay for it. It comes out of your check. You could probably get personal insurance, but if you're a skydiver in the United States, no one's going to sell you insurance. You know, if you're a professional skydiver. Yeah. So like as an infantryman, probably in any military, your life expectancy is 3 minutes. So when you go into battle, you know, they expect you to live for 3 minutes. So your weapon is more valuable than the soldier. So for instance, yeah. So like, you know, if you get killed in action, you'll get whatever the government gives you. And then I don't know how they scrutinize it once the insurance company has to pay for it. Because I don't know if it's a government-backed insurance or it's a private insurance. Today, you never know, you know, with these private companies. Yeah, like when you first join the military in the United States, it's like all volunteer. So you're kind of like applying for a job when you go to the military. So you apply. It's not mandatory. So when you go into mandatory military, they pay for everything because they're forcing you to come in. Like if you don't come in, you go to jail. You know, there used to be an old military zone, go to war or go to jail. So when they have the draft, you go to war or go to jail. Then the military pays for everything. You don't pay for nothing because you're being forced in service. So in the military in the United States, you're actually working, you're applying for a position in the Army or in the Navy, in the Marines, in the Air Force, the Coast Guard. Now they're going to have the new one, the Space Force, like whatever that's going to be, you know? So I guess it's going to be like NASA. They're going to have their own military. That's probably, and it's good because it's going to create jobs. You know, it's going to have like pilots are going to come out of the Air Force and join the Space Force and fly these spaceships into space to take care of the fight in space over space, you know, for satellites. But in the United States, it's a paid military and it's a volunteer, meaning that you got to go through a whole checklist before you go into the Army. They don't just take anybody. So now in the UK, the military is volunteer. Yeah, well, Area 51 is just radioactive. So whatever atom or nuclear testing they did it there. So it's just radioactive. So you can't go in there because you'll get radiation poisoning. Right. They advertise the same thing here. Like I mean, like if you join the army, you can like learn a trade. I mean, you can go in the army and learn how to be a licensed nurse. You can learn like radiology. There's a lot of medical fields you can learn. You could be a diesel mechanic. You can learn mechanics. I mean, there's a lot you can learn in the army. You can go to college and they'll pay for it. In the army, in the military, there's a lot of opportunity. The army, per se, in the United States, is probably the best place to go for opportunity and pay because they're in a high demand and they have the biggest budget. So if you join the Navy, they have a big budget, but they have a heavy expense because they have, don't forget, they control the Navy, submarines, aircraft carriers, the battleship groups, the Air Force that's on the aircraft carriers, and the Marines. And the Marines have their own Air Force with helicopters. So whatever budget the Navy gets, it's really spread out thin. So being in the Navy, you got to be a very high performer to get promoted. And being in the Marines, you have to be a very high performer as well to get promoted. Where in the Army, you don't need to be high performance. You can get promoted with time, and because there's just so many openings in managerial positions, like squad leaders, platoon leaders, because there's just so many soldiers and there's so many jobs because the Army provides so much support for the Marines and the Air Force. And then there's the Air Force, so they have a big budget for big planes and fuel and a very small amount of men and women to run it. So they have, so you're not going to get paid a lot in the Air Force or in the Navy or in the Marines or in the Coast Guard, forget it. Because the Coast Guard is under the Department of the Treasury. So there's a bunch of accountants running that. So you're not going to get paid in the Coast Guard. That's just for glory. Yeah. It's just amazing, like these wars that they've had. Yeah. I mean, if you have, to join, like if you have like other means of learning a trade or making money, then do that. Why waste your time in the Army? Because the Army is sort of like a waste of time, unless you want to be a warrior. If you want to be a warrior and carry a weapon and go into combat and risk your life, or you're suicidal and you want to join the military to, possibly, end your life, which a lot of people do that. Time of war, a lot of people who have these thoughts just join the military, and it's a way out, and you go out in glory, rather than just going out, in the bathtub. So you went out in glory, and then you're honored, which is honorable, Yeah. So was your dad like in the recent desert wars, like Iraq, Afghanistan? Well, wish him my best and tell him I thank him for his service. And here in the U.S., the veterans, they're pretty much taken care of. But again, like, veterans are an expense. Oh, 92. Okay. Yeah, that's like when I was in around. And there was really nothing going on. I think the UK had the Falkland War, where Argentina or Brazil was trying to take the Falkland Islands from them. And, they went all out. You know what I mean? They sent nuclear submarines, nuclear aircraft carriers, and nuclear battleships. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of bases out there. And like we protect Hong Kong, we protect Japan, because they don't really have any military. So we provide all that support for them. And the UK too. And yeah. So like all the shipping lanes in the world are protected by the United States because we have the largest navy in the world. Yeah, I was 13 years. Oh, thanks a lot. I don't even think today they need the amount of soldiers that like when I went in, like the squads, the infantry squads are like 13 guys. So the platoon was huge. So the squad was made up of a law. Everybody had an M16 and 502 guys had 502s, grenade launchers, and there was a 60. And then we all carry claymores and everything for everybody, for the gunner, So then they came out with the saw. So this thing shoots 200 rounds a minute, and they cut 2 guys out of the squad. Now they're down to 9. Nerd of the North, what's up, my man? So like technology, is cutting the people out of the battlefield because of technology. So now they have like a smaller, high-powered machine gun that a guy can hold like this and let off 200 rounds. I mean, like nothing. And I think that weapon is made in Belgium. What's up, bro? Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate that. Nerd of the North is from Norway. I think you're a New Yorker, right? Nerd of the North, you came from New York and you moved out to Norway? Oregon. Okay, bro. Thanks for stopping in. See you again. I will try. Yeah, maybe I'll try to go live if I see anything interesting. Thank you. Yeah, Florida is a beautiful place. Florida is like really an amazing state. It's surrounded by water. My passion. I have so many passions that I can never just put my finger on one thing, and I think that's like one of my problems in life, that I wasn't able to concentrate, on one. I gotta scratch my head on one thing. It was like I'm always, I don't know, maybe it's OCD, always like, oh, I got to do this. I want to do that. I want to try this. I want to try that. Right? So I think people who know what they want when they're young and they go for it, they're very successful. I was telling that to my daughter. I was saying to her, if you want to succeed in life, pick one thing, like in that movie, I think City Slickers, and that's what he says, there's one thing in life. And that's how I figured out. He says, well, that's my problem. I've never, just like tried to do my 100% in one thing. But I tried. I tried. Right. So like, even YouTube is like sort of like something that I like because I was always into like cameras and film. And I even have like family that's in the movie business that is very successful. They've been involved in movies and they're currently involved in movies. And we have the same last name. You might even like see them on the screen. And I've always been like sort of interested in that. And maybe YouTube was like my way of, doing this, but I do like work full time. So I can't put 100% of my time into it like a lot of YouTubers do when they're very successful at it. Yeah. I like having my channel. It's sort of like owning property, you know? Like you have a channel. And like, um and you could, make something with it. Yeah, getting to 1 million subs. And there's guys out there that have done it. Like for instance, Doug DeMoro. Like he was but he's a smart guy. I'm a blue collar street guy. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been to college. I went to college and everything. And, I succeeded well in college, but college wasn't my passion. So, like a lot of guys who are very successful on YouTube, like Doug DeMoro, he's a journalist. So he went to school for journalism. And a lot of other these guys that do good YouTube are journalists. So they're able to write very good scripts and memorize them and are very successful. But then again, it's all about the content. There's another guy, like his name is Andrew, and he never went to college. He's just a farm boy from upstate New York, who's a very successful guy. And he's got like 45,000 subs. And I went to his channel when he had about 5,000. Now he's got over 40,000. And he makes interesting videos, but his videos are kind of, repetitive. Like I'm taking these trees down, but he comes across well, and people watch his videos. SDMF Vampira, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, YouTube, is difficult. And you got to hand it to YouTube, for giving people this opportunity. Even though like they change the rules, and it's still like a good platform. And they kind of do give people an opportunity where like they wouldn't have one anywhere else. Good. Thank you for that. Oh, no problem, bro. I'm happy to have you. SDMF, what are you up to, my man? Vampira, so you're a lady? Because I'm just saying that because of, A being the feminine type. Staycation. I was on a staycation. Those are the best. You could do things that you could never do in your own city. Oh, great. Nice to meet you. I'm going to check out your channel. Oh, you did your 24-hour stream? Sorry I missed it, bro. I was sort of like on a stay vacation too, and I was a little preoccupied. But I'm sorry I missed it. Okay. SDMF Imperia. Do you have two channels? Because I see there's one. There's one. Oh, back. I know you guys can see me, but I was looking at my my browser. Oh, thank you. Oh, so you have two channels. Okay. Oh, the 1K. Okay, because I saw the other one has like a different spelling. That's actually smart. So let me check that out. So I'm going to support you on that channel. The one that you have 200 supporters on. And let me check out your videos. So I'll play one. Let's check it out. Oh, okay, bro. Yeah, I know now. Miss, I've seen it. Yeah, I think. I'm looking at the doctor. I'll leave a comment so you know it's me. Smiley face. So I comment. So I left you a comment. Oh, no problem. My shoes. Your shoes get a little crazy at times. You know, I've never played. I played gaming, but I haven't tried it. I think I have an Xbox, but I'm like all butterfingers with the controller. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Yeah, the games you play are pretty hard. Like there's a lot of Fortnite. I don't see too many sporting play, but I like more watching than playing. Yeah. The easy games, it's moves along faster. I remember playing like a World War II game. I forgot the name of it. I think it was, and they would come on the barges, and they would storm the beach, and you had to get off the beach. Life is Strange. I'll check it out. Yeah, I ran your playlist. So like I was watching you on excuse me. I was watching you on Chrome, and then I was running your playlist on Internet Explorer. So what I try to like tell people is like if you're gonna run somebody's playlist, don't like do it on Chrome, do it on Internet Explorer. Yeah, Call of Duty, right. Call of Duty, that's what I had. It was a pretty good game. Or run it on what is the Apple one? Safari. So you could actually, because Chrome, I don't think their bots are as decisive in Internet Explorer than they are as in or Safari, because they have to now go into their platform. Even though Safari uses Google as their search engine, it's still Safari has still some kind of control over it. Yeah, Call of Duty. So if you're gonna like support somebody, support them on Safari or Internet Explorer if your main browser is Chrome. Like I use Chrome. So because what I'm doing is I try to support Google by using Chrome. Oh, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I didn't understand, but I thought I just watched a video. No, you're gonna reach it soon. I'm surprised you haven't reached me. You're such a cool dude. That's good. 800 is good. And then like once you hit the 1,000, it's like I hit mine May 16th, right? And I got it July 3rd or the 2nd. And then I noticed that I had the dollar signs. So once you hit the 1,000 and you have the view hours, it could take like 8 weeks to get monetized. But like in the meantime, like when you're almost there, what you want to do is you want to go to AdSense and open an account. So, and you connect it and then you get verified and you connect it to YouTube. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then this way, when they are ready to, like review your channel, you're already like verified. You're already set up with AdSense, and once they okay it, boom, you're good to go. Like you'll see the like I'll show you on mine how it looks. So here's my YouTube studio. I don't know if you could see that. So if I go to videos, I don't know. Like I can't. So you see like the green. So that shows that you have, that you monetized. Like that. So like before it happened, I was already for like a year and a few months. And I had the watch time, but I didn't have the subscribers. And I kind of felt weird about it because I said to myself, wow, I have all these views, right? And no one's subscribing. Like, what am I doing wrong? Because out of all the views that I had, because I had like, a lot of views and time, and I had the time, right? I didn't have the subscribers. So when that happened, I had like 275 subscribers, and I missed it because I didn't have the subscribers, or else I would have remained monetized. If I had the 1,000 subscribers, I had the time, and I was good because the views didn't matter anymore; it just mattered by time. Oh, you were monetized too? Okay, yeah. See, so you were probably in the same boat as me. You had the time, but you didn't have the subscribers. Because I had like, I think at the time, 12,000 minutes. Like now I have like I have a lot. I mean, it's not really a lot. I mean, compared to some YouTubers, like my view time is nothing. You know what I mean? Like in the last 48 days, I had 46,181 watch time minutes, 13,000 views, 111 plus subscribers, and I made $5.48. Yay! $5.48. So that's how hard it is to make, to make anything, with creating videos, which is, like, I don't know if you can see that. So watch time minutes, In the past 28 days, 46,189, 13,000 views, and my total. So now I was monetized like a couple of weeks ago, right? A week ago, I made $5.48. $5.48. You know, so the money that I was making before February 22nd, my last check from YouTube, which I was lucky, I got $136. I got $146. That's what I made. So that's what I was like earning for that 1 year. I was making like $150 a month. And I was kind of happy. You know, I was like, okay, this is cool. You know, I figure like in time, you know, when I get better at speaking and making the videos, you know, people might like it a little more. That's not too shabby. Right. So every viewer, like I've been on so far 2 hours and 32 minutes. I'm gonna get off soon. So everybody who's been in, whatever time they're in counts as time, but I don't need the time anymore. I never needed it. You know, I just needed the subscribers. Nobody liked my videos. And I had like a lot of you know, comments and everything, but just nobody. And that's what a lot of people like. If you watch YouTube and you try to like notice a lot of guys will have like 1 million views, but they'll have like 3,000 subscribers. So to get those subscribers, that's the challenge. You know, the views isn't the challenge. And what I was also contemplating is that a lot of people complaining about John Brooks. Welcome. How are you, buddy? So like a lot of people were complaining how YouTube is not promoting their videos, and I disagreed with that. You know, because here I am, a new guy that had the viewership, had the time, right? So I had the viewership to have made all that time, but it was my fault that I lost the monetization because I didn't have the subscribers. So whatever I was doing something wrong that people weren't subscribing. So that's what it's about. You know, you have to get the people, you know, to like your videos. Pretty much. You know, so now, you know, they may be now YouTube might realize that and say, wow, it's the hardest thing to get is subscribers. So they might make it even harder to get subscribers because YouTube was promoting my videos. Well, what happens is that I think when you're subscribed to somebody, the more active you are on YouTube, the more notifications you'll get. Because a lot of times, like I get a lot of notifications. I ring the bell for everybody. So I'm going to get so many notifications that I'm not going to be able to go to everybody's stream or everybody's video. So it's not like a matter of like it's YouTube's fault. It's a matter of being in the flow in the stream. You know? So like if you're fishing for something in the stream, or you want to be a fish in the stream and you want to get caught, there's just so many fishes swimming around you that fish may get caught before you. And that could be like one of the problems as well on the notifications. You know, and a lot of people's turn their notification off. You know, they don't. Fireman CV, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. And that's why like a lot of people, they don't get their video seen, or people just they just don't click on it when you come up. Not that they don't want to watch a video, maybe they're watching something else or they're doing something else, and then if they don't get you at that moment, they might not watch the video or the live stream. It's like a river flowing, and that's what the notification is. The river's flowing, you're a fish in the river, so you gotta your supporters gotta see that notification. So like, say for instance you get PewDiePie, like I'm subscribed to PewDiePie. He's got 68 million subscribers, right? So you know how many notifications YouTube sends out for PewDiePie? Like Casey Neistat, he's got, I think, 10 million he hit now. So how many, like when he does a daily vlog, so how many subscribers are notified? So when you see their videos, they got like 1 million hits. And over time, people watch the video. Not at that moment, but they'll watch it. And that's what a lot of the problem is. Like, people think that it's YouTube's fault, but it's not. It's just it's the river of YouTube. There's just so much going on that a lot of people don't catch your stream. Well, is catching your fish. Then you're the fish, right? I mean, I don't know if that's the right way of saying it. Thanks, bud. Same to you. Oh, happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. Hope I'm going to look to see if I can, see you and wish you a happy birthday on your birthday. Oh, if you can, Fireman CV, send me an email because I'd like to, ask you a couple of questions. Fireman CV is an awesome guy, and he's got so much patience that he's willing to help anybody, and definitely check him out and support him. He'll definitely support you back. And so will Nerd of the North and SDMF, and I'm sure everybody here will support each other. Thanks, bro. I really appreciate that. I was watching you. I came in late last night with you in Green Bay, and it's just awesome what you guys are doing. Now, a lot of people need that. Yeah, Fireman CV, he's a veteran as well. I was wearing contacts yesterday, so like this eye here feels a little funny. I think it scratched my eye. So I'm kind of like seeing a little blurry, so that's why I'm squinting to look at the text. I'm not using Hangouts or OBS. I'm using straight up YouTube. I'm going, how would you call it? I'm native. Native YouTube. No OBS. Wow. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's horrible. Green Beret, bro. Those guys are shit. Excuse my language. Man, Green Beret. When I was in the National Guard, we had this captain, because we had an AH, a captain. He had no balls, right? So he was a nice guy. He was just like he could care less. And he was just there just to get paid. So we got this one guy, he was a Green Beret, came in with this guy, like, look, you could just tell he was hardcore. And he didn't want us. He didn't want us. Like, he didn't want to take command of our company, because we were infantry. We were mechanized infantry, 113th Infantry. in Woodbridge, New Jersey. So we needed a new company commander, CO, because the guy we already had two. So the new guy that we got, he didn't want command of our company. He probably wanted a different command of whatever he wanted to do. So this Green Beret comes in, and we're all like, we wanted him because he's a Green Beret. We wanted, a hardcore guy. He didn't want us. He didn't think we were cool enough, or like high speed. We weren't like to his specifications. Thank you, Fireman C. I appreciate that. So, like when you go into the military and you get that Ranger patch and you're with a Ranger unit, you're going to work. We were a bunch of lazy bums in the National Guard, but we tried. I mean, we're weekend warriors, so we could only do so much. You come out, you leave your girlfriend Thursday night. You're going to see her again Sunday night. So you're thinking about your girlfriend. Unless you're like you're an AT or but this is just the way it is in the Guard. We're not going to be, the regular Army high speed guys that this guy was expecting. Oh, thanks, Nerd of the North. But now the Army now wears. I think I was in when they handed out the Green Beret, when they had the red berets, because the Army wears berets now. Like we had hats. I'm not sure if they still have them in the dress greens, the hat, because I know the airborne. Like if you're in an airborne unit, you're Screaming Eagle or All American, and you wear your dress green, which then you would tuck your boots in and wear a beret. So if you weren't airborne, you would wear shoes and a hat, or the like the boat hat, whatever they call that. And then I think they gave everybody a beret. But if not airborne and you're not in an airborne unit, you can't tuck your boots in. You're cuffing your boots. And actually, that green uniform, I think it's a battle dress. See, they have battle dress uniform, but then they have a battle. The green one is a battle uniform. You can still do battle in it. The dress blues is the formal one. They're really not designed to do battle in it, but I'm sure you could. But I don't know if I'm right. But I think that's what that is. Like if you wear the greens with a tie in the garrison, those uniforms are designed to do combat in. Where if you wear the dress blues, they're not. They're only for formal. That's all you wear them. You don't wear them when you're working. All right, fireman. See you soon. Well, guys, I've been on for 2 hours and going on 44 minutes and a half, and I really appreciate everybody in the stream. Much love to everybody, and I will definitely see you guys again, and peace out. Enjoy the rest of the day. See you guys again. Thank you for coming. Peace, bro.